Hey there, welcome to the 94th episode of the Campus Comics Cast. We're getting up there. This is going to be our monthly perusal through the previous catalog of all the comic books and trades and collectibles and stuff coming out. This is the February catalog for items that will start shipping in April of 2021. This is Dan Brown, and I'm joined this time by
Scott Reed.
That's it for right now. We'll see if anybody else jumps on here, but right now it's just us.
Man down, man down.
We're just we've done this before though too. Like we've had episodes with just you and me.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. The ones that are dedicated.
That's right, the real ones, the ones you're here for. But yeah, we are still recording remotely right now. But the store is open if you want to come in. We, again, we just asked everybody, still wears a mask and kind of maintain social distance. But the store is open, and we are located at 816 East Main Street, Suite B in Carbondale, Illinois. And we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5. If you want to give a call first before you come over, the number is 618-457-6011. And again, you can always find us on Facebook and Twitter. Oh, and just let everybody know too. Yeah, the store is open, but if you did want to, still do curbside or something like that, we can still accommodate that. That's not a problem. Just give us a buzz on the number there. So yeah, that's why I know some people still want to do that kind of thing, and we don't have a problem with that. That's always an option. But the store is open if you want to come in and get your books and take a look around. Been sorting a bunch of stuff in the back. Been putting a bunch of more dollar Marvel books out, so if you want some cheap Marvel books, come check it out. And again, they've been pretty picked over for a while, so we're getting a lot of new stuff out there. So something to check out. Again, we haven't talked about this for quite a while, I think, but again, we just want to remind everybody, if you're listening to the podcast, please subscribe. You don't want to miss an episode of this thrilling conversation that you get every time. And, it helps us out if you leave a review. Again, we'd prefer a positive review, but
oh heck yeah,
I'll take any review at this point. Whatever. It leaves something. So we're gonna do things a little differently. We're gonna start with Marvel this time. So we're gonna jump into the Marvel previews catalog. Big Venom 200 here on the cover. We still got the King in Black event going on.
Yeah, they're about ready to wrap up King in Black. Just a couple more. Looks like just a couple of titles where it's still kind of hanging in there. Avengers and Venom. So.
And again with Venom 200, we're getting a ton of variant covers. We are getting the I don't know if they have a name for this, but the sort of mosaic sort of cover we've gotten before with some other key books, where they're sort of piecing together various Venoms, images of Venom from various books and stuff like that, kind of making one big picture.
Right.
And again, I think most of those have been pretty cool. So this one looks kind of neat too, where we've got it's supposed to be sort of like a sea of black, but there's a lot of color in there too of Venom. But you get sort of a black and white Spider-Man images making up the symbol on his chest. So I think that one's kind of cool.
What do you think of the Jock variant cover?
I like it. It's not my favorite work of Jock's. You know what I mean?
I understand. I'm trying to, ever since that Patrick Gleason amazing 55 cover with the spider webs and stuff like that, and that was such a hit. It's like I keep looking at these covers. Is that the type of thing that's going to be the next one of those?
I don't think so.
I don't either, but I just want to see if I was the only one who thought that. I like it, but it's not.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely stand out on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. It's not his Joker cover that he did for Detective with all the bats.
Right, no.
A ton of stuff.
Yeah. But I guess it is made out of the symbiote, which is what was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I guess the concept of it is anyway. So.
Yeah.
You think it'll stand out more than the Deadpool 30th anniversary variant cover?
Which one was that? I can't remember.
They don't have it pictured.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
No, but they've got there's several for Deadpool's 30th variant by Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I see. Oh, you know what? Some of those are on mine though. I did see the
okay,
Rob Liefeld one. He's
okay,
holding a copy of New Mutants '98.
okay.
That's what the Rob Liefeld one is. Um, so yeah. Again, I'm not gonna. Jock doesn't care about my opinion.
No,
As far as his artistic career goes,
yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, again, it is a more sort of minimalist approach to it,
Mhm.
just with the stark white background. I like this. I don't want Jock falling down the Jay Lee rabbit hole, where it's like a very pale, misty background with a foreground character that's like really, sort of covered in shadow. That I feel like that's 90% of what Jay Lee does anymore, and it looks cool, but it gets repetitive. Again, neither one of them asked for my opinion.
Well, we got what Marvel's number one, so it's a new.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the Marvels number one.
Oh, excuse me, the Marvels.
So we got Kurt Busiek writing and Alex Ross cover, and there's a nice variant here by Carlos Pacheco. I don't know, is he just doing stuff I don't see anymore? I feel like we don't see much out of Carlos Pacheco anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen his name in a while that I remember anyway. So, and it's just a variant cover. So they do have a few pages of preview art here, which is not, it's looks pretty good, but no word balloons or anything. So,
and again, I bet that's color's gonna go a long way with that too. I think.
I'm trying on one of the variant covers for Marvels. They've got, I guess these are a couple of new characters that they're introducing. The I'll just say Falcon-like character on the left, and the new female character on the right. I don't recognize immediately either. Well, even now that I think about it, the main character in the middle, below Iron Man and Storm and above Captain America. I'm not.
That's not Golden Age Vision, is it?
Oh, that is Golden Age Vision. You are correct.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
That's coming from a DC guy.
Okay. I just, wasn't even thinking about that. I kind of forgot what he looked like. So
the character in the right in white, that's not Arrow, is it? AERO from that one book they were doing.
Oh, one of the
similar, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It could be. Yeah. And of course, it's almost like has like an Avengers Forever feel where they're bringing together all of these characters from different eras of Marvel.
And again, it's also through the lens of Alex Ross. Is the other part?
Yeah. There you go. So, but it does. But there are a couple of characters that are introduced here in this.
Hey, read the solicit. Golden Age Vision, Arrow, Iron Man, and Thor, and two brand new characters. So yeah, if we just read, we'd know.
Okay. What, you think you read previews? I just look at the pictures. It's like a comic book, right?
Definitely variant too. I tell you what, I do like this kind of design of Vulture where he's got the sort of pointed dome head, like sort of beak-like dome on his costume. That's kind of neat.
Page 8, you got Mighty Valkyries. So it's a Jason Aaron with Torn Groenbeck. I'm sure I butchered that name. Going to be a 5-issue series. So it's Jason Aaron writing Jane Foster, which in the past has been good. So if you're missing out on that, then this would be a chance to pick that up. And then page 10, this Women of Marvel. I actually didn't even mention this on my first rundown through, but then I noticed that it had a story about Captain Peggy Carter, which kind of interests me. And then I also noticed there's going to be a variant cover by Amanda Connor. So all of a sudden, I'm a little bit more interested in this book.
If you can get that variant cover, we'll see.
Yeah. Who knows if it's a easy one or if it's a 1 in a 250 or whatever. So, well, until I see it too, you never know. I mean, Amanda Connor's usually pretty good, but that may not. It's not an automatic, buy or like that. So. Page on 16. So
on 15, we've got Dark Hawk, Heart of the Hawk number 1. So we're getting a new one shot here about Dark Hawk.
It's his 30th anniversary. Him and Deadpool share a birthday.
Right. So again, there's been rumors about a Dark Hawk show or a movie or who knows what. And again, that's pretty much for every Marvel character anymore.
Yeah.
But I know some people have been snatching up Darkhawk back issues and things, and I got to think if they're doing anything, the roots of it will probably be here in this one shot. I mean, that's kind of Marvel's MO. A couple of years before a movie comes out, they'll kind of reboot their comic book to fall in line with whatever the plans are for a movie. So if they're doing something, this might be the book to pick up.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining that that's going to be a successful movie property just because of the fact that he's never been super popular in comics either. He's not had a series that's lasted a long time, and recent attempts to revitalize the character just haven't met with much success. So
if he comes to any screen, he's going to have a different look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's the other part of that.
Yeah. Page 16, you got the final issue of the Ta-Nehisi Coates run on Black Panther. So that's going to be wrapping up here in April. 24 is my next thing.
I'd say go ahead.
Okay, so we've got the Spider-Man Spider's Shadow, and this is kind of a what if Peter Parker had become Venom, except for as a one shot, they're known as a 4-issue story. Written by Chip Zdarsky, so I would imagine it's gonna be kind of in the life stories vein, which we had different opinions on, but I can definitely see events like Kraven's Last Hunt turning out quite a bit different with Peter Parker as Venom as opposed to Peter Parker as Spider-Man. So, but I expect that'll be a series that'll be pretty popular. So.
And speaking of life story, it's not in this catalog, but did you hear about that? What they're doing?
Maybe, I don't know.
We're getting a Fantastic Four life story now for their 60th. So yeah,
that makes sense.
Definitely be looking into that one. My next thing is 43.
Okay, yeah, I don't have anything till 94.
Okay. So X-Men Legends #3. Looks like we're getting a new story here from Louise and Walt Simonson. And this is kind of going back to their original X Factor run, where Iceman's got like the wrestling title belt or whatever he's got there again. But yeah, if you're a fan of kind of that era of X Factor, I'd say check this one out.
Yeah, he needed that to control his ice. He was like getting too cold or something like that. So, if I remember correctly.
On page 50, we've got the new issue of Maestro Warren Pax. Again, this is the second Maestro miniseries they've done. As we're recording this, the first issue's out so far, and it's really good. I'm really liking this book. Marvel's been doing a lot of just villain books right now that are really good. I'm liking pretty much all of them I'm picking up. But yeah, it's been if you're a fan of the Future Imperfect story or Hulk, I definitely recommend this. And right after that, on the next page, we have Immortal Hulk 45. Now, the rumor was, we heard a while back, that this book would probably be wrapping her up around issue 50. Yep. I don't know if that's still the case or not, or if they've actually officially announced anything. But 45, we've got to be getting into the home stretch here on this book, I would think.
Yeah, you'd think it's going to be like the last story arc. So.
But again, I don't see anything.
No.
That really spells that out here.
No.
Marvel's got that MO.
Mm-hmm.
But again. Maybe Immortal Hulk's been doing so well, it gets another chance there, or maybe a new #1 or something.
I just noticed this on page 52, where you got Fantastic Four #31, the Onomatopoeia Apocalypse.
And I want to talk about that onomatopoeia on that cover.
All right,
because I follow Mark Brooks online. That is not digital. He painted all those sound effects on that page.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, yeah, he painted all that, and I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, why? So, yeah, you can look him up on social media and see where he posted that. It's like, yeah, he did, and it is definitely like 90s sort of Blambot fonts there that he's using, it looks like, but yeah, just really well done. Yet again, I wouldn't have thought that why would you take the time to do that? But he did, so good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Page, I don't have anything else till page 77.
Okay, I'll go and mention on page 55 with Ta-Nehisi Coates wrapping up Black Panther. I wonder how much longer he's going to be on Captain America, but it doesn't say it's his last book here on Captain America 29, so I guess he's still, working on that book. So.
Okay. Going into the collections, page 77. We're getting the Marvel August 1961 Omnibus. So this is the first month that Fantastic Four premiered in comic books, and so it's that and everything else that was out that month from Marvel. So sort of a piece, sort of a slice of the history there of what was going on at that time with Marvel. And again, they mentioned a lot of these books have never been reprinted. So, you got like Patsy Walker and, Journey into Mystery, but they get like Kathy and Life with Millie, Amazing Adult Fantasy, Rawhide Kid, a lot of Westerns, romance, some superhero, probably some horror stuff in there. So it's an interesting collection just to take it, by month.
Yeah.
But again, that's pretty interesting, I think. Now, it's also $150.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that interesting, but if it is to you, here you go.
Yeah. That might be one to wait for the soft cover on. So.
Yeah. Oh, and it's got a new cover by Javier Rodriguez, but they don't show it. They show the direct market cover, which is Kirby, Fantastic Four #1 cover, but I would like to see Rodriguez's cover there. A couple pages after that, we've got the Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 3. I just want to point this out because this is sort of towards the end of the Lee and Kirby Fantastic Four run. But this one, I just noticed this because this book has been out of print for a while now, and the original hardcover is pretty pricey now if you find it. So this is something I'm definitely going to pick up because I got volumes 1 and 2. I just never got around to picking up 3, and then it went out of print.
Oh.
It's very expensive. So I'll probably be getting this just to kind of finish that up. And let's see, after that, on 83, still in the collections, we've got the X Factor by Peter David Omnibus Volume 1. So this collects some of the Peter David run on X Factor. It's like the Larry Stroman run, kind of going into the Joe Quesada run. And I don't typically buy X-Men books on a regular basis. I got his X Factor for quite a while. I really like that. This is also around the time of like X-Men #1 and X-Force #1 when they were kind of revitalizing the X-Men line and that kind of thing. So this is sort of X Factor's version of that. But some really good stuff. And I think I've talked about the first issue Quesada did, which is the other cover for this collection. But just that first issue was really good. Oh, and X Factor is also the reason why we never got Joe Quesada drawing Batman.
No.
He just designed the Asbat suit, but he never did the book. Was that he signed the contract to write X Factor or to draw X Factor, and then the next day DC approached him about doing Batman. So timing is everything. And let's see, what page is this? 94.
94. Okay, so we've got this now. This has a January order number on it, which kind of confuses me because I don't remember seeing this last month.
I don't either.
So they have the Alex Ross Marvel Comics poster book, and basically this is a collection of all of the timeless covers. So apparently they said there are 35 ready to frame. So I assume that means 34 timeless covers plus one gatefold, 4-page gatefold that has the full image that is the mural for Marvel's New York City office. And of course, they don't list the price here, so not sure how much that's going to be. It seems like whenever a 12 print Marvel one is $50.
Good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, this is probably going to be close to $100 and maybe even more than that.
Why'd you tell me that, Scott? I was looking forward to getting this.
Well, yeah, so it might even be cheaper to go try to track down all the covers individually than to actually buy this. But have you been impressed with all the timeless covers that Ross did for the various Marvel titles? Then this is your chance to get them all in one place.
Yeah, and there's a video on YouTube too of kind of the creation of this mural and then putting it up in the offices and everything. So if you want to get a better look at what we're talking about here, I would recommend that.
Yeah, and the ad for this is so different because it even has like a website here, abramsbooks.com. So is it something that you can't even order from Diamond? I don't know.
I gotta think it is, or it wouldn't be in the catalog here, and it has the Diamond code on it.
Yeah.
But I think this is probably Abrams publishing this as opposed to Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But they know where their bread's buttered, so they threw it in the Marvel catalog.
Yeah, and I don't have anything else for Marvel, so.
I think my only thing is the last page. We see all 4 posters we're getting, I guess. So no poster game this month.
Oh.
So I guess it for me.
That's it for me too. So
we want to jump into the DC catalog.
I guess we might as well. We stalled for Mike, so
We stalled enough.
Yeah, that's right. So we're just gonna
our digital DC Connect catalog, issue number 9 here for February.
Mm-hmm.
So starting off, we got something I thought we were getting last month is Green Lantern number 1. So we've got a new Green Lantern series starting up. And on the cover, on the main cover here, we see Teen Lantern from Young Justice front and center. So she's apparently going to be part of this, and I'm all right with that. So I think she's a good character. I was hoping they wouldn't just shove her to the side after Young Justice. So, but it looks like she's kind of getting in here.
I'm not familiar with Teen Lantern. Does she have normally an oversized head?
No, she's just a kid. I think it's probably just.
See, I thought, well, maybe it's exaggerated, but none of the other characters on the page are exaggerated proportionally. So that just kind of threw me.
Yeah, I think it doesn't help putting her right next to a Guardian either with that.
I mean, because her head seems like it's almost as big as his.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of off to me. So, and this is one of a couple of titles that DC is adding to their Infinite Future.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, Infinite Frontier. Why can I never say that right? I always say Infinite Future. Infinite Frontier.
Right after that, we've got a new Robin number 1 from Joshua Williamson. Probably, it's sort of Damien's book here, so I'll be picking that up, see how that is.
And that's probably going to be a book that you maybe should grab a couple extra copies of, because we're going to get a new character in here named Flatline.
Oh, yeah.
And James Tynion has already said that in the very near future, there is going to be a Flatline versus Punchline fight. So, just FYI. So, so if you're into the first appearances, this one's got one. So,
after that, we're getting Batman: The Dark Knight number 1, and this is a 6-issue miniseries we're getting from Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert. And it looks like this is Batman kind of going to London and getting a new suit for some reason, but it's Tom Taylor, so I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if this was actually, Bruce Wayne Batman. They really don't say, so it could be any number of the various Batmen that we have in the DC universe now. So
yeah,
I wasn't for sure about that. Now, okay, I got a question for you on this 125 variant cover. Who do you think that is? Is it Batgirl?
That's what I want to say. That may be that artist's interpretation. I'm not sure.
Yeah, of Batman.
So we're supposed to be getting some new characters and stuff in here, it says. So,
but like if you scroll back up a couple of pages to the Robin variant by the same artist, I mean, it's definitely, I don't know. It's just like, if that's supposed to be Batman, that's not a very good interpretation of Batman. And again, we don't know. I think
this might be a more European interpretation of Batman, if that's what it is. That's what I'm going to go with for this. I would say probably think more Mobius than Andy Kubert.
All right.
For that. Speaking of multiple Batman, after that we've got the next Batman, Second Son. So we're getting a 4-issue miniseries from John Ridley, featuring his Tim Fox Batman from Future State. So again, we are seeing some stuff from Future State kind of carry over now into the regular books.
And this is going to be an origin story for this version for the Tim Fox Batman.
Yeah. Right after that, a book I'm definitely getting is Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 1. So we got Batman teaming up with Scooby-Doo for a 12-issue series. I will be buying all of them. Super Sons are back, and Challenge of the Super Sons number 1 by Pete Tomasi. And Jorge Jimenez doing the cover work here, but not the interiors, it looks like. But again, most of those have been pretty good. We're getting a trade of the Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red Digital First series. So I don't think we've got any just regular monthly issues of that. So it looks like they're just collecting it in trade here.
Straight to trade.
So if you want a physical copy of that, there you go.
Chapters 1 to 17, so it should be about the same length as what The Adventure Continues is.
Yeah, it would be.
I assume that those digital chapters are going to be the same,
close
to the same length.
Yeah, I've been reading them. It seems like it is.
Okay. All right, so you ready do you want a drum roll for Superman number 30, Dan? This your most anticipated book of the month?
What of?
Really? I thought you were an ambush bug guy.
Yeah, I am.
Well, he's in there.
I'll pick it up.
Okay, all right. So I don't mean to overhype your ambush bugness.
Right.
So isn't that the one? Am I on the?
I like Ambush Bug. I've tracked down his appearances and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a backup story, The Return of Ambush Bug.
Right.
So this will be his first time in. Has he appeared in Rebirth?
I don't think so. As soon as I say that, I'm wrong though.
Yeah, but still, it's gonna be his first appearance in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the digital series that's exclusive to DC Universe Infinite, the Let 'Em Live series that they just started. He's the host of that book, where they're kind of publishing unpublished, probably drawer stories or something. But Ambush Bug is the host of that right now too. So.
Okay. My next thing's page 28. So.
It's okay. Yeah, I don't know if I've got anything before then.
Okay, so page 28. I'm still scrolling down to page 28. Okay. We've got Detective Comics number 1035. Have a new villain, Mr. Worth. And this looks like it's going to be a villain that's going to start as a bad guy and probably, transition over to being a hero based on because he's out to get Batman because he thinks Batman's a bad guy. So again, another first appearance of a new character. He's big, and wears a tie. So there you go.
What page is this on? Page 31. We've got the Flash 769. Nice. And so we are getting a new character apparently called the Gold Beetle.
No, Gold Beetle first appeared in.
When was this?
Future State Suicide Squad 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I think it's the second appearance for this character.
Okay,
might be first cover.
Okay, another character from Future State carrying over into the regular book. So
yes, yep. At least that's whatever, because I kind of looked that up because I wasn't familiar with that character and where were they from. So right. Yep. But they did pique my interest. Kind of the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. That's a nice combo, yeah. So.
What else
and you've got your what other? Well, I forget what the aliens are there. The invasion aliens, the
Dominators.
Dominators, yeah.
Yeah, can't get enough of the Dominators.
Let's see. 52 is my next thing.
Go ahead.
All right, so page 52, we have the trade for Batman: The Adventure Continues, which on the podcast we have discussed kind of in detail all 17 digital chapters. Of that book. So if you didn't pick it up in issues and want to have a physical copy, then this is your chance to grab that, and you can go back to those issues and add those previous podcasts and follow along. So
right after that, on page 53, is the Batman: The Dark Knight Detective Volume 5 trade paperback. So this is sort of the Alan Grant, Norm Breyfogle era of Batman, but it does collect. And it's from the cover here. This is collecting the story of Tim Drake's parents being kidnapped, and I think Batman has to go to Haiti to rescue him. I think is where the story is. But yeah, it features the introduction of the Obeah Man, which was a pretty big character for Tim Drake that I don't think they ever brought back. And I'm always surprised that they never do anything with that villain again. Page 55, we've got the Bizarro Comics Deluxe Edition hardcover, and so this is like an anthology collection they did years ago, and this is collecting both the Bizarro Comics and Bizarro World anthologies they did. Man, what was it? I feel like it was almost 20 years ago now that this came out.
I have no idea.
But again, just fun short stories by a lot of indie creators, and we've got this Matt Groening Bizarro cover here. But yeah, trying to think. Oh, Kyle Baker. There you go, Scott.
There, yep. I probably should pay more attention to that, shouldn't I?
Jeff Smith, Paul Pope, Roger Langridge, Dave Cooper, Eddie Campbell, Tony Millionaire, Harvey Pekar, Peter Bagg. So a lot of indie superstars in here doing Superman Bizarro stories. Again, you don't see a lot of that. Page 58, we've got the Flash Death of Iris West hardcover. So this is collecting the story where Iris West dies. And again, I picked, led up to like the Trial of the Flash storyline and that. So it's kind of a big chunk there at the end of Barry Allen's series back in the 80s. Let's see.
64, there's a Volume 3 hardcover for Shazam, the World's Mightiest Mortal. The cover says not final cover, but I don't know. That's a pretty good cover.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be fine if that were the final cover.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe there's just minor tweaks or something like that to it. So, but that would be pretty good.
67, we've got Superman, the Man of Steel, Volume 3 hardcover, and again, collecting sort of the John Byrne run from the 80s. And I think this might be it. I'm trying to go through the thing. 12. No, I think he was on for a little bit after this, maybe. Yeah. So we should have at least one more volume of this coming, I would think. But again, just great Superman stories that Byrne did. If you haven't ever checked it out, definitely get that. And I think that's all I got for the DC.
That's all I got for DC. Yep.
Okay, so moving on to the big book.
Moving on to the big book. Oh, orders are due February 18th. And, of course, you got a little bit more time after that, but try to get them in, if possible, by February 18th.
Let's shoot for the 18th.
Yeah.
For everybody's sake.
That's right. It's easier for everybody.
The sooner you get it in, the better chance we have of getting you what you want.
Yep. And, of course, on page 26, you can always put in an order for previews catalog and, see all the things that we don't talk about, and then have, a really, really heavy book to do something with down the road. If you ever need, shredded paper for a project, you're doing not macrame, doing, crud. I shouldn't have even mentioned it.
Decoupage?
Yes, there you go. You have plenty of material for that. Right. So,
yeah. And again, even, we gloss over a lot of stuff just because the catalog is so big. There's so much stuff. And I know there's always, there's good books in here that we don't even know about. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely
a bad thing of it. But so starting off page 32 with Image, we've got Geiger #1. So this is the new book from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank.
What are the chances of this staying on anything close to a regular schedule?
No way.
Yeah, I can't.
Way.
It's just,
Especially since they were already supposed to be working on the next Batman Earth 1 book.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
So Doomsday Clock's been over for a while now, and that book still hasn't come out. So unless they've been finishing that up, there's no way Geiger comes out on a monthly basis.
Yeah. That's to me. While I might want to read this, it's not one that I'm going to, read monthly. Yeah.
That's the thing. We'll see. I'll probably check out this first issue just to kind of see what it's all about.
Sure.
But yeah, again,
we know he has at least the first 4 pages done.
Right.
Or 3 pages. 3 pages.
Hopefully they've got some in the can here. Hopefully they did the Robert Kirkman, Chris Somney thing like on Firepower, but I doubt it.
No, yeah.
We are getting a Gary Frank glow in the dark cover though, so that's kind of cool for one of the variants. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just a glow in the dark version of the regular, that's neat.
Page 38.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have Helm Greycastle. This is going to be a 4-issue series. Looks to be like it's something that would be good for if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan and like fantasy in your comics. This would be something to pick up. Also, as a bonus, it looks like it has a one-shot adventure that is supposed to be 5th edition compatible for all the Dungeons and Dragons players that you can use for your own campaign. So artwork looks pretty solid. They got a 4-page preview. Multiple covers. It looks like 4 covers for the first issue. So something worth thinking about. And then on page 40, we have another 5-issue series, Home. And the premise behind this book is basically what if there is a migrant boy who's traveling around doing work, and what if he has superpowers? So 5-issue series, interesting topic, something to think about. And there's also a 4-page preview of that story as well.
Is he just using his superpowers to do his work?
They don't say. I mean,
the best migrant worker ever.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's where they're going with the book.
Okay.
I think it's going to be pretty serious. The tone looks pretty serious from the first few pages, as if he gets separated from his mother, because it kind of leaves it with them loading up on a truck. So who knows? kind of hard to judge from just 4 pages, but it may go a different route.
I don't have anything else till page 90.
Okay, so page 44, another #1 from Image. We have Silver Coin #1. This is going to be a 5-issue series. Chip Zdarsky doing the writing on this anthology, so working with a lot of different artists for each book. The preview doesn't really grab me, but if you're looking for a horror anthology, this might be something to grab. And then on page 49, Department of Truth issue 8 starts a new story arc for that series. And on page 50, Inkblot #7, which is the Emma Kubert book that I think Mike mentioned on a previous episode, also starts a new story block. Then switching into Dark Horse on page 82, fans of Cyberpunk 2077. I think this is the second comic series for Cyberpunk. If I can get down to page 82, it's like You Have My Word is the name of the series, and I'm trying to remember how many issues it says that it's going to be. 4-issue series. All right. My next thing's not till 114.
Okay, well, on page 90, again, still in Dark Horse here, we've got the Madman Library Edition Volume 1 hardcover. So this is collecting a lot of the earlier Madman stuff. So we have the first mini-series 1 through 3, and then Adventures 1 through 3, and then Madman Comics 1 through 10. It also reprints For the Record, which was the first appearance of the Frank Einstein character. And that book... that was hard for me to track down 20 years ago. I mean, it might be easier now with eBay, but I can't imagine that book's easy to find anymore. So probably be the easiest way to read that. It also features something called They, which is Howard's never before published first effort to make comics. So I would assume this is even before the Dead Air book that he did, like kind of pre-Madman and everything. So that might be something worth checking out there.
114 is my next thing.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're in IDW. Kanto is getting a 3rd series. I think this is his 3rd series. This is a 3-issue series, Kanto and the City of Giants. Not personally read any Kanto, but I know it's received some pretty positive reviews out there. And then on 119, we have what I would consider to be really like a geared towards kids Godzilla comic. Godzilla Monster Protectors is a 5-issue series. So if you've got a younger reader who's into Godzilla or is looking forward to the Godzilla King Kong movie, this would be a good book to pick up for them. Then I go to 170 is my next thing.
Okay, my next thing is from Dynamite on page 140. We just have the next issue of James Bond, Agent of Spectre. I'm just looking forward to this book. I'm picking it up. I know I said that last time. I'm going to say it again. It's Christos Gage, and we've got Sean Phillips still doing covers here. So I'm all about that.
It's nice to actually be able to talk about something in Dynamite because everything else they do is Vampirella and Red Sonja.
Right. Another kind of odd thing they're doing is on page 146. We've got the Art of Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So timely.
Yeah, it's like who's asking for that is what I want to know.
I'm gonna bet there's some cool retro sci-fi kind of design work in here and things, but it's just like, what year did that come out? Oh, 04.
Yeah,
the movie came out in 2004. It's like I liked the movie well enough. I went and saw it in the theater. It's worth watching. It is a worthless director's commentary, I'll tell you that on the DVD. But yeah, I guess if you want behind the scenes info, I mean, maybe check out this book then, because. Yeah.
If you're hardcore into that movie, then here's your chance to get something for it because there's not a lot of merchandise for that now.
No, and they never made a sequel or anything, so this is probably all you're going to get. Again, you think you could do like a series of novels based on that world or something like that, or a comic book.
A comic book, yeah.
But yeah.
What's the series where you have the Nazis on the moon?
Oh, Iron Sky.
Iron Sky, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
they made 2 of those.
Yeah, I think there's a 3rd one.
Oh, really? I only knew the 2. So
yeah. So if you're a fan of Iron Sky, check out Sky Captain. Let's see. My next thing.
I'm on 170.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we're in a boom. Fans of Magic the Gathering, you have a new comic series coming out, and I guess this is going to be an ongoing. Um, Multiple covers. It's kind of weird that they don't advertise it as Magic the Gathering. It is just Magic. So I wasn't 100% sure it was related to the card game until I saw like there's a Planeswalker variant and some, so it kind of definitely is tied in. So they're going to take some of the characters from the Magic the Gathering universe and start writing comic books about them. So if you fan of Magic the Gathering, here's your chance. Lots of different covers, and they got some cover designs. They got a little bit of artwork, and then they also have this Magic Pack, which is I guess where you can. It's like a bundle of all the first covers and includes a special hidden Planeswalker variant along with a black blank sketch cover. So I think you get like every cover for the set. So if you're the completist and want to get all the variant covers for Magic 1, there's your chance.
I mean, I know some companies do that. You figure more would, though.
I've seen it. I've only seen Boom is the only company that I've ever seen do that, because I picked up whenever they came out with Micronauts, I picked up that pack for Micronauts, and I don't know of any others.
Did Valiant do something like that? Again,
they may have.
I don't pay that much attention to Valiant, but I feel like maybe they did.
Yeah, they may have, but I know they've done some things where it's like Valiant has done some things where you get special covers if you pre-order like the first 4 books.
Well, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But again, I'll pick up variants, and like just sell me a set. You'll get my money. I'll spend more on this book. Oh, you know what? I know the Mars Attacks book did that a while back. The #1 where they had all the variants of the old cards. There was a box set you could buy of that.
And who released Mars Attacks?
Was it IDW? I think maybe.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I feel like it's IDW, but I'd have to go back and check. But again, they came out with a big box that had all the covers in it, and that had an exclusive cover of like the checklist card kind of thing, which I thought was kind of fun. So yeah. So better late than never.
You're right. My next thing's not till 259. So.
Okay. Well, my next thing is on 202. But first, does anybody else want to chime in?
Oh.
No, I guess not. Okay. So coming up from Aftershock, on page 202, we have Project Patron #1. So it looks like this is Steve Orlando's new book. So the concept seems to be here is a Superman-style character called the Patron who dies in battle and is resurrected, but it turns out behind the scenes he's still dead, and we have like a team who is sort of running the new hero. So it sounds like maybe more of a dark side to the superhero resurrection story, where the public still thinks the hero is out there saving the day, but it's really this sort of team running everything behind the scenes, this sort of crew.
Is that are you talking about Phantom on the Scan?
What's up?
Phantom on the Scan, is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. What page is that?
After that, page 202.
202, okay.
Yeah, Project Patron, #1.
Sorry.
So yeah, it seems like an interesting concept, kind of playing on some of the more traditional superhero death and resurrection tropes. So probably be some cool stuff in there.
But jumping back to page 200, so you have, again from Aftershock, Phantom on the Scan #1. Who do you think they want to play the main character whenever that has a movie?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
That's my casting.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks like Keanu Reeves. So I think they have somebody in mind for that book. So I'm still at 259.
Okay,
that next.
What do I got? Oh yeah, mine's 260. So go ahead.
Okay, well 259. They are now announcing Free Comic Book Day for 2021. And it is going to be August 14th. So we're not getting our normal May date for Free Comic Book Day. So they're already pushed that back to August 14th. It's probably wise to play it a little safe this year. And at least now we have something to plan for, so.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Things could, what's bad is it still may not happen that day, but at least we're shooting for what seems like a reasonable possibility. So save
Yeah,
the day.
I didn't even see that. Is there anything at the beginning of the catalog with this?
No, I don't remember seeing anything there.
Wow,
That's the only place that I remember seeing it. So
that's crazy. Just to
uh,
bury it in the catalog like that.
yeah, on the page with the porn comics. So
Right. Oh, you know what? Here it is earlier. That's on page
it
8
is.
on the side.
Oh, okay. See,
They want to make sure Mike Atchison saw it though, so they put it there. But page
he's
two,
just gonna take it. He's just gonna sit there and take it.
yeah,
So
so on page 260 from Fantagraphics, we've got Young Shadow by Ben Sears. So this is a sort of a one-shot graphic novel. It's a two-color, so it's basically just yellow, black, and white is what it looks like here. But the description is Bolt City resident Young Shadow spends his days making deliveries for the food bank and rescuing pets until he discovers a gang of chemical plant CEOs, trust fund punks, and bad cops called the Sludge Team. To stop them, Young Shadow teams up with Spiral Scratch and a crew of metal-clad nuns, drawn in bold yellow and blacks. This is a socially conscious YA action-adventure kid superhero tale. So again, sometimes that YA stuff is still fun. You know what I mean? Not too much baggage.
right.
The things you're going to get with your monthly superhero book. So I might check that one out. And again, I don't feel like we see enough two-color comics out there. And I understand why, but it's sort of a fun thing to see now and then, for artists to experiment with. And then on 263 from Gallery 13, we've got Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. So it looks like a new edition of that book. And again, we've got the big sort of pinup page in that went up for auction a couple years ago and sold for a ton of money. But you can check it out there for way cheaper. See, 277 from Inside Editions, we have the DC Comics, the official Gotham City cocktail book. So this is, like a cocktail book, but it does say it lists alcoholic and non-alcoholic recipes. So maybe I'll check that out.
Wow.
Come up with some new drinks, comic-themed drinks in there.
310's my next book. So
let's see. Oh yeah, so page 303 from this Second Sight Publishing. So we have a book called Chess, CHESS, number 1, where it looks like a new superhero team. But then I saw ahead of it on the bottom of the page is Blowtorch number 1, which is from the pages of Chess. So apparently they're confident enough in this chess concept that they're already doing a spin-off miniseries with one of the characters that's just as long as the chess miniseries. So apparently they're just going right into their universe here with this. But again, I'm all for new superheroes that don't have 80 years of baggage. So might be something to check out. After that, on page 304, we have Hirschfield, the biography. So this is a biography of the cartoonist Al Hirschfield and sort of his cartoony portraits and things he was known for. And it's just a biography of him. So probably I'm sure there's good stories in there, with him and the sort of celebrities he was around and stuff like that. I would think there's some cool stuff in there. Page 315, we've got
310. We've got Doctor Who, Missy number 1. So here we have a 4-issue series on the Doctor Who universe's master. This was the first female. I guess it's the first time that a Time Lord went from male to female that we're aware of in the series. So we have a 4-issue series on Missy, and then on page 313. We have, where'd it go? The Michael Moorcock Library, Elric Stormbringer. And I just mentioned this because when I'm set up at conventions, I will inevitably have one or two people ask me for Michael Moorcock stuff. So, with Elric, he's a very popular character, and the Michael Moorcock stuff for Elric, it's something that people are after.
You get that many people looking for Moorcock there?
Yeah, that's apparently. So
I don't know. I mean, you see that stuff now and then. I just didn't know it was that popular.
yeah, I surprisingly I've had a lot of people ask, especially the last couple of years. 3 or 4 years ago, nobody was asking for it. But the last couple of years, seriously, people have been looking for those books.
They're just
So
all on Moorcock.
there you go. So
After that, on page 315, we've got the How to Draw DC book, sort of like a art instruction thing. I would imagine this is probably more for younger readers and aspiring artists and things like that. But again, everybody's start somewhere.
Yeah, I always see those as like they have like the 4 panels, draw some circles, add a little stuff, add a little bit more stuff, and then it's like, okay, I'm good through steps 1 through 3, step 4.
Right, yeah. I know. It's a good. That stuff is kind of a good foundation, though.
Yeah.
So I won't brag on it too much.
Yeah. Page 325.
317.
Go for it.
From Tomorrow's, we've got a new edition of the Batman Companion softcover. I've had this for quite a while. I will always recommend this book. It's sort of the end of the Silver Age, Bronze Age Batman. And the fun thing about back issue and Tomorrow's, and you really get it here, is you've got old creators that don't care anymore. And they will tell you what was going on. There are stories in this book that contradict each other because you have different people telling the stories. And yeah, if you're a Batman fan, I feel like this is something you need to have on your shelf. Just because all the good stories in there. You got Carmine Infantino and Neil Adams and different guys from back then working on Batman. And that might be all I have for this side of the catalog.
Well, page 326, actually. I just thought this was odd. So at Vault, we have this series called Dark Interlude, which is on issue number 5. And here's what the solicit for this book says. No solicit copy approved due to pending legal matters with Henry's estate. So they could post a picture, but they couldn't post any solicit about the book.
And that's not just like a funny story reference or something there? Or?
I have no idea.
Huh.
I don't. I mean, I literally think they just couldn't do anything because they didn't get it approved in time or something. You would think they, if this is the 5th issue of this series, they would have all that stuff worked out, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. So 384 is my next thing. So yeah. Okay. Well, I got to jump past all the manga here. A couple of T-shirts, which I thought were worth mentioning. You got a Doctor Strange, pretty psychedelic black T-shirt. Going on, and then you have a Star Wars The Good Guys action figures. So it basically has like the first set of 3 3/4 inch action figures. You got Obi-Wan and Chewbacca and Han and C-3PO and R2 and Luke and Leia. So on a T-shirt, also in black. I thought that was kind of cool. So Mike Atchison, would you like to talk about anything before we go to side 2 from the DC catalog?
I was wondering if you guys could go back to like page 14. I got a lot of things I want to cover.
Yeah, I could.
We'll mute our mics and we'll just let you talk for a while.
Go ahead and take your bathroom breaks. No, I don't have anything. It takes me 45 minutes to figure out how to download this previews magazine. So it's like I thought I could navigate computers pretty well until I started getting these links from this magazine vendor but I finally got caught up to what page you're on. I was going to comment on the Batman or the Batcave Companion. That I agree with you. That would be really interesting. And had a Sergeant Rock back issue from Tomorrow's. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to really go through much of this magazine. Not until we get to the DC, I guess. Or did you guys go through the Marvel?
Yeah, we're at the end. We're waiting. But if you want to talk about what you want to talk about in DC, go right ahead.
All righty.
Because you might mention stuff that we skipped. So.
1 second then. All right. So I just have some notes, my own personal interests. The Infinite Frontier Green Lantern with the Teen Lantern. I think that looks like it'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys covered this, so I hope I'm not duplicating much of what you said. Dan, go ahead. What?
We already talked about that, Mike.
Then okay.
But if you have something to add, please do.
No, just it looks good. I told you this is not my forte here. Batman Second Son. I'm only interested in that because I really enjoyed the Future State Next Batman, and I think I'm going to pick that up. I this Philip Kennedy Johnson is the writer of the 2-issue arc with Action and Superman, and I was getting him mixed up with Daniel Warren Johnson. So whenever I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to get this because this is the guy that wrote the Wonder Woman oversized Dead Earth, that came out with Black Label. But now I'm like, well, okay, maybe he's all right. He's got a similar name, who knows? But I'm going to pick that up. The Crime Syndicate. If you haven't talked about that already, I can't believe it.
Nope, go ahead. And he's froze up.
Mr. Freeze Strike.
Yes, apparently. So
it's my looks like my VPN kicked me off.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
You're back now.
All right. Yeah, I just routed back around the VPN, I guess. But
hey,
yeah,
the podcast is free, folks.
Killing me here. That's it. That's all I had. Thanks.
Okay.
I'll be here again next month. So try to avoid this episode.
So side 2. I only got one thing on side 2, so.
Well, on page 18, we've got the Marvel Comic Premiere Collection Lizard statue. So this is just sort of a cool statue of Lizard, I think. What is he at? 3,000 pieces. Again, I don't feel like we get a lot of statues of the Lizard, but this one looks pretty cool. Let's see, what else we got? Yeah, I didn't have a lot over here this time.
Yeah, page 80 is the only thing I have. So.
Okay, page 35, we get a new 112 Collective Dr. Fate figure, which, I mean, Mezco's been doing some of these. I feel like, are we to Dr. Fate already with these? But we're getting it. So if you're a Dr. Fate fan, I'd say check this out. I haven't picked up any of these because they're pretty pricey, but like whenever I see them online or see a review of them, they always look pretty nice. Page 37. So it's from the Marvel Legends line, but for some reason the solicit here reads X-Men Legends. I assume it's because of the listing they have on the other side of the page for the X-Men Marvel Legends line, but it is the Marvel Legends MODOK 6-inch deluxe figure. So, they're starting to do some of these bigger figures now as opposed to doing a Build-A-Figure, which is what they did last time with MODOK. You could pick this one up here. It's $50, but again, it should be a bigger sized figure, and it's going to be cheaper than trying to put together a Build-A-Figure of them. That's for sure. Page 64. We've got the DC Comics Nightfall Batman Mafex figure. So again, this is sort of the Asbats, John Paul Valley version of Batman from the 90s. There's definitely some better pictures of this online. Again, I probably won't pick this up because of the price point, but it looks pretty nice. And let's see that.
So page 80, we've got the Star Wars Mandalorian window decals. They actually added a second one. There's the armor, which is actually already out, that says "This is the way," and now they have added, of course, a Grogu little bounty hunter window decal. So I thought those were kind of nifty. I picked up the "This is the way" for my son so he can put it on the side of his computer case.
Nice. How did they not do a little baby Yoda on board?
Give it time. Yeah.
I know they don't put anything with Baby Yoda on it, but tell me you're not going to do one that says Baby Yoda on board.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunities.
Yeah, give it time. Give it time. They'll have one eventually. So, yeah, that's all I got. So
my last thing's on page 87. It's in the game section, but we've got some EC Comics puzzles. So it's some of the old Weird Science and Fantasy covers. So they look kind of cool. I wonder how hard it would be to put these together. But what
Who
are they?
knows? 1,000 pieces.
1,000 piece puzzles. So yeah, again, kind of a cool thing. Old comic covers on there.
And I guess they're all Wally Wood art because they all say artist Wally Wood on them. So
yeah. So again, I hope if they do those, I hope they do some of the other artists. Give me some Johnny Craig ones. That'd be cool. But yeah, I think that's it for me on this catalog.
Right, so blank covers, you've got Geiger #1, you got the Cimmerian Iron Shadows in the Moon, Shadow Man 1, Power Rangers 6, Magic 1, Mighty Morphin 6, and Batman the Dark Knight 1. All have blank covers. Well, Mike, would you like to pick a book that you are most looking forward to?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the hardcover edition of Flash, The Death of Iris West.
Oh, okay. Did you read that when it originally came out?
Yes. And it just, I sat there before I would open up the book and read it to figure out who was really murdered. First of all, it was kind of cool. Like, oh, Flash is dancing with Batgirl at this masquerade. Right. And to me, I mean, for a 12-year-old or whatever I was like, oh, maybe he's just hanging out with Batgirl. But I couldn't figure out who it was until, of course, when I read it, then I go back and I can see that the thumb that's over that little invitation to that whatever the invitation said on the cover, you could barely make out that it was an I that was the first letter in that the thumb was covering. So yeah, that was one of the first real kind of cool murder mysteries, first comic book death probably that I ever read whenever I was a kid. So it's got a lot of nostalgia effect on me.
Dan, what about you?
I'm going to say the book I'm most looking forward to is Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #1. I think DC's done some good Scooby-Doo stuff lately. And again, this is right in line with the Scooby-Doo team-up book they did for so long. Kind of wish that book was still going, but this is probably the next best thing I'm going to get. So I'll be picking this one up for sure.
I guess I'm going to go with Women of Marvel 1 for the Captain Peggy Carter story. I'm hoping this is like a what if Captain, Peggy Carter, not just she's a captain, story. But it's hard to tell. So that's definitely has my interest peaked for that story. So in that anthology book. So Mike, dare I ask if you have an investment recommendation for this book?
I seen something that was a new villain.
Yep. Robin #1.
Oh, here it is. The Detective.
Oh, okay.
Number 1035. New villain alert. Introducing Mr. Worth. Yeah.
All right.
That was
Dan,
my
you got one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Geiger #1. I think people will pick this up, but again, I think it's the same issue we were talking about earlier of will this really get any traction going? I don't know. Maybe the investment book is actually Geiger #2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't see this coming out on a regular basis. But again, who knows? Jeff Johns has Hollywood connections. Maybe this is something they've got, a deal for somewhere. That's always kind of what you think now with Image books.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see. But again, not trying to put down the book. It'll probably be a good story. It'll probably be a good read.
Yep.
But it might be better as a trade. Depending on the publishing schedule.
All right, I'm going to go with Robin #1. We're getting a new character here in the first issue of Robin named Flatline. And like I mentioned when we were going through it, James Tynion IV has already said that at some point in the future there's going to be a Flatline versus Punchline fight. So that's a character that could, definitely take off, and there could be some interest there.
Right.
And plus it's a Damian Wayne Robin book. So.
Right.
That's the part I like about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike, was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, I'm just so late to the game. I don't deserve any airtime at all. I'm just glad to see y'all.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. Does anyone have anything else to bring up?
Don't forget, if you enjoyed the podcast, despite the train wreck that this one became, please leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. That will help get us some more subscribers.
Yeah, and if there's anything you heard us talk about in here or anything you see in the catalog you want, try to let Mike know at the store before February 18th. We'll get it for you. This is everything that's going to start coming out in April. There'll be some stuff, probably like the statues and things that'll come out later. But that's kind of what we're shooting for here with this. And again, you can always call the store at 618-457-6011, or if you want to go by, we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5 at 816 East Main Street, Suite B in Carbondale, Illinois. And again, you can always check out the Facebook and Twitter accounts of the store. Scott, where can everybody find you online?
Burgcomics.com, burgcomics.com has links to all the various Instagram and Facebook and eBay stores.
Fun stuff. Mike, where can everybody find you?
Mike Atchison 5 on Twitter.
All right. And I'm Dan Brown. You can find me at Detective651. And again, those are the numerals on Twitter, Instagram, and tpublic.com/users/Detective651 for my TeePublic store. We got, some sales coming up soon. Get some cheap nerd shirts for you on there. And you can find me most Saturdays at Campus Comics. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
What I think, so I guess I could check my app here and just make sure. It's one of those things where it's like I read it and then I went and created the Meet Now, and then it's like, what was it? So I could have skipped the number, but last one was 93, so jumping into 94. I'm so much happier with how the feed looks now with the better information. Yeah, I gotta get with Amazon though and figure out how to get the logo to show up as the podcast art. Oh yeah, it still isn't showing up. It shows up on everything else. Huh. So I don't know. Yeah, there was some other. I gotta get the name here. There's some other podcast site called Verbal. Let me see. Spelled weird. Yeah, of course. VURBL. They just added us to their site. Right. And at some point I got to get on there and log in and take ownership of it. But they have all the episodes and you can click on them and play them right there. And so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So they might be, get people to click on their links for the podcast, and then it monetizes for them. So that could be bad, I guess, but oh well.